One thing I've noticed over my time playing Phantom Forces is that a lot of players in Phantom Forces often have trouble making good loadouts. This is both due to inexperience and lack of access to high-ranked meta weapons like the C7 and XIX. As a result, they often seek external help on YouTube, however, results are often less than desirable, as most videos on the topic just tell you to pre-buy meta weapons and to quite simply get good. Much like my sniper guide video, I decided it was time to make a proper guide that could help inexperienced players and hopefully improve their gameplay. As usual, if you're looking for a specific part of this video, the timestamps are on the screen now and down in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The goal for this video was simple. I wanted to make 3 loadouts for 3 different playstyles: aggressive, all-rounder, and passive. The aggressive loadouts are for those who just like to jump right into all the action without any thought whatsoever. The all-rounder loadouts are for more casual players who just want good overall performance at all ranges. And the passive loadouts are for those players who like to play the game slowly and effectively. Now for this video to be accessible and actually work, I decided to set a few simple limitations for myself. I only have access to rank 50 and below guns, and all attachments must be under 300 kills. So after a bit of looking, I had constructed a full list of all the guns and attachments available to me with the limitations I'd set for myself. What I then decided to do was separate the guns I would and wouldn't use, and after a while, I wound up with this selection of weapons. The next thing to do was categorize the guns into their respective playstyle, and also categorize the melees and grenades in this game into their overall usefulness. And now with all this data collected, it was time to combine it all together to make the best budget loadouts I could think of for each respective playstyle. Let's start off simple with the aggressive playstyle. These are the loadouts specifically designed for those people who love to rush in guns blazing. The first loadout we're going to take a look at is this one, the M14, the Glock 21, the Bloxy, and the Mark II frag. Now let's talk about the attachments. On the M14 you're going to be using the reflex sight, the compensator, the folding grip, and the blue laser. And on the G21 you're going to be using the delta sight, the osprey suppressor, and the green laser. This loadout is strong, compact, and handles most situations well. While the M14 isn't the best at super far ranges, you'll be surprised how much a little G21 can do at range. All weapons including the Bloxy melee have a high damage output and work very well as backup in case your M14 ran out of ammo mid-battle. Meanwhile, the Mark II frag grenade is very useful for taking out targets that are just out of reach. This second aggro loadout has a more fast-paced playstyle. This loadout consists of the MP5K, the G50, the baseball bat, and the M24 stick grenade. On the MP5K you're going to be using the delta sight, the compensator, the potato grip, and the green laser. Meanwhile, on the G50 you want to be running the half-ring sight, the osprey suppressor, and the red laser. This loadout is all about going fast, and while it isn't very rage efficient, it absolutely excels in close range combat, with the MP5K being a very strong low recoil PDW combined with the G50 as a good finish off tool. Lastly, the baseball bat and the M24 stick grenade truly put emphasis on speed in this loadout, as both are one of the fastest options in their weapon category. And lastly, we have the more basic but effective loadout, the M4A1, the M1911, the trench mace, and the dynamite 3. On the M4A1 you're going to be using the delta sight, the compensator, the potato grip, and the blue laser. And on the M1911 you're going to be using the half-ring sight, the osprey suppressor, and the red laser. This loadout has more speed and reload than the gameplay, although don't underestimate it, as this loadout is incredible for close and mid-range situations. The M4A1 can easily handle itself in a fight, and you won't even be pulling out your M1911 that much due to the M4A1's swift reload speed. However, in the off chance you don't have time to reload, the trench mace is a very reliable melee to get out of situations with. On the other hand, the dynamite 3 is also very useful for pushing into objectives such as a mass camped hill, a choke point, etc. Now let's get into the loadouts for those who don't have a specific playstyle and just want a good and balanced loadout. By the way, before I get into the specifics, I have an entire video about this balanced loadout topic, so for those of you who are a bit higher in rank and not on a budget, I recommend watching that video after this one. Anyways, shameless video plug aside, the first loadout consists of the Scar L, the Tech 9, the hockey stick, and the M67 frag. On the Scar L you want to be running the T84 ACOG, compensator, potato grip, and blue laser. Then paired with a Tech 9 that has the Mars sight, the compensator, and the red laser. And also pro tip, remember to use the Tech 9 on alt aim by pressing T. This loadout is for people who like versatility. The Scar-L is very useful in covering any range endeavors, and with the Tech 9 to cover the Scar-L's mid-close range performance, you have a pretty powerful all-range combination. The hockey stick is there to aid in melee battles with its good range and speed, meanwhile the M67 frag is just a reliable all-purpose explosive. The second loadout consists of the Type 20, the G23, the default knife, and the M24 stick grenade. On the Type 20 you want to run the double open sights, the integral suppressor, the folding grip, and the blue laser. Meanwhile on the G23 you want to have the half ring sight, the PPS-1 suppressor, and the green laser. This loadout is a combination of all-round weapons that work well together. Basically, each individual weapon can handle itself pretty well at any range. It's nothing super incredible, but it's absolutely perfect for a casual experience. Now moving on to the last loadout consisting of the AUG A1, the Deagle L5, the Crowbar, and the Mark II frag. The attachments you want to run on the AUG A1 is the Delta Sight, the Compensator, the Potato Grip, and the Red Laser. And on the Deagle L5 you want to run the MP7 irons, the Muzzle Brake, and the Green Laser. This loadout is a combination of two of the best close and long range weapons available at this rank. With the AUG A1's unmatched low recoil accuracy and the Deagle L5's incredible CQC stopping power, you'll be a pretty hard target to take down if you play your cards right. Combine this with a jack-of-all-trades crowbar and the Mark II frag grenade, and you have a very strong all-round loadout ready to take on any range. Now moving on to the final playstyle of this video, the passive players. Basically people who like to play the game slow and steadily instead of just rushing in guns blazing like the aggressive players. The first loadout I have for passive players is this one, the AUG H-Bar, the G40, the Bare Fists, and the Dynamite. Now the attachments you want to run on your AUG are as follows, the T84 ACOG, the Compensator, the Folding Grip, and the Blue Laser. And for the G40 you want to run the double open sights, the PPS-4 suppressor, and the green laser. This loadout is for long-term lives with high ammo reserves across all weapons. The AUG H-Bar combined with the G40 creates the perfect range-efficient offense for passive players. Pair this with the Dynamite for the high 4 reserve grenades and the Bare Fists for their very high mobility stat, and you can become a pretty tricky enemy to take down, especially because you won't be running out of ammo anytime soon. Now of course you can't talk passive playstyles without mentioning at least one sniper loadout, so let's quickly brush over that. This sniper loadout consists of the Intervention, the Super Shorty, the Sweeper, and the M24 stick grenade. The attachments you want to use on the Intervention are the Suppressor, the Skeleton Grip, and the Green Laser. And on the Super Shorty, you want to run the Mars Sight, the Suppressor, and the Red Laser. And like the Tech 9 combined with the Scar-L, make sure to press T on the Super Shorty for easier use. This is a pretty classic sniper loadout that is really good for long-term passive playstyles. The Intervention has a really good torso kill range, meaning it can handle itself pretty well at most ranges. The Super Shorty is there to assist with close range encounters, and the Sweeper is good at catching enemies off guard with its very high melee range. Moving on to the last loadout for this video, featuring the L86, the J18C, the Clonker, and the Mark II frag grenade. Now let's get into the attachments for the L86. For the L86 you want to be running the Reflex Sight, the Compensator, the Folding Grip, and the Blue Laser. And lastly on the G18C you want to be running the Delta Sight, the PPS-4 suppressor, and the Red Laser. This loadout, while a bit hard to use, can be very rewarding if you learn to control the recoil of both guns. The L86 is very powerful and pretty accurate for an LMG. Its low fire rate also makes it very ammo efficient as you don't burn through your reserve ammo so easily. Although to offset its low fire rate, pairing it with the J18C can really assist you in tight close range situations. The Clonker, like most melees mentioned so far, is a decent melee with good stats all around. And as said before, the Mark II frag is just a good frag grenade for most situations. Welp, that's all the loadouts I had for you this time around. If you would like to see more informational guide videos like this one, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, peace.